Hello everyone, Kryptonite here and welcome back to another Hydroneer logic guide. So after various testing, I finally figured out the best way to set up the auto smelter with a reliable reset so it is fully automated. So it's taken me a while to come up with this, and don't get me wrong, it looks a bit confusing, but that's just because I've got a few extra elbows and straights just to make all the cables fit so I can showcase it to you guys. I'm sure you'll be able to have a play around of where things will go to make it a bit neater than this, but for this tutorial purpose I will leave it as it is. So before I run through how to build it and how it all works, just a few essentials that you would definitely need. Obviously you will need a load of T-pieces, straights and elbows, but you will need a diode, you will need 2 value readers. I personally use 2 weight readers just because I find it a bit easier. You need a flip hook, a 1 second time delay. You need the A is bigger than or equals to B T-piece. You will need a keypad and the magnet. The magnet is one of the more essential parts just to stop things from clogging up and to avoid any losses in resources. So let's head over to the build here and we will start the first part of the process. I'm just going to turn my drills off for a minute, just so we haven't got so much noise going on. So what you need first is your logic smelter. I have it on upwards conveyor belts of a funnel just because it just helps with this certain build and keeps it all organized. Now to start off with the build, what I have done is I've put a weight reader at the top of the smelter. The reason why I decided to do this rather than use a counter that sits onto a conveyor belt is just because at Iceland Force, when you're building more drills, you need a certain weight bar of iron, calcium ore. So I just like to use the weight reader just because it's just easier to determine what sort of weight bars you want. So from the weight reader at the smelter, you want your A is greater than or equals to B T-piece smack bang there. So you want to make sure your A side is on the reader and your B side will have a keypad that will determine the value we want everything to activate on. Now coming out of the top of the A is greater or equals than, I've got 2 T-pieces. Now on your first T-piece, you want that going all the way to a magnet. You can place a magnet wherever you want. Obviously it activates sort of 2 squares, so I've put mine around about here. You can put yours straight above the funnel if you want to, doesn't really matter. You need to make sure somewhere in there you've got a 1 second time delay. That is key to make the magnet work in synchronization with everything else. Now from there, from this second T-piece, you want the straight section of the T-piece just to go all the way down to your smelter. So as you can see, mine's quite extended because I was going to put this T-piece here sort of coming out the bottom, but there just wasn't enough room to do that. I'm sure you can make room on your build. So as I said, you just want the straight section to go all the way down to the smelter. Now on the other section of the T-piece, you want that coming out to a straight and you want a diode. You want a diode to face into the T-piece. This will stop the reset mechanism messing with your keypad and your reader to activate the smelter. That is a major key component to make sure everything works as it should. So following from there, you want that to come down to another T-piece. Now this T-piece will be used to loop the circuit. So now we have our reset switch. I use another reader because basically what I do is when the bar is smelted, it will come down the conveyor belt. The reader will measure exactly the same weight as what this one does here. So coming straight out of this piece here, we want that to go into the back of your reset switch. I'm going to call it a reset switch just so we can determine between the two. And here you want to put a flip hook. Now from the center section of the T-piece, you want that to go into a straight and another T-piece to go into the top of your reset switch. And then from that T-piece, you want that to loop all the way around into your first weight reader and trigger mechanism here. And that is pretty much as simple as it gets. This is the simplest way I've found so far to do it through testing. I'm going to try and play around with a little bit more, try and make it a bit more simpler, but I don't think we're going to get much simpler than this, to be honest guys. So this is probably the most frequent build you will see. So now let's demonstrate and show you how it all works. So on my keypad here I've entered a 25. I can see at the moment we're reading at 10, so I'll just drop this down a little bit. As you can see, I'm having trouble with my keypad. It's not in the best of places. But obviously you can extend this, put some elbows in straights, just put your keypad to where you want it. So I'll put this at 15 now just for demonstration purposes. We will pop on our drills, and sooner or later this should hit 15 and you will see the whole lot work. So here we are at 14 and 15 and it's activated. So the smelter will activate. That will also activate the magnet. Resources weren't flowing through fast enough to show you that. But basically when the smelter activates, it activates the magnet to stop any more resources going in and ending up all over the floor. And then once the smelter has finished doing what it's doing, the reset mechanism will read the bar as it comes through, reset the value of the reader to 0, and the process will start all over again. So I've had this running for quite a while and done a lot of testing on this, and I've had no problems whatsoever like this. So for me, this is the best way I've found that works so far. So hopefully you all liked that video and found it very helpful and interesting. I hope this build you can put into practice just to make your mining process completely automated. So if you enjoyed the video, found it helpful, make sure you smash that like button. Let me know in the comments down below if you did find it helpful. Your feedback is much appreciated, and also don't forget to subscribe. Sit that notification bell on so you don't miss any more Hydroneer videos. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one.